Dudes, what's up? Don B from the Don B podcast. Check out Atheist Edge. They're all over YouTube. I watch them. I watch every episode. And I'm not lying to you. I would never lie to you. I just lied to you.
What are we going to do today? I was thinking we would do a thing called Rando Calrissian. I don't know if I explained it to you before.
No.
All right.
I don't think I've heard of it.
But we have 100 random.
Okay.
It can be something anodyne, like what is your favorite pizza topping, all the way
Okay.
to super hot button, like how do you feel about transgender women in female sports? I mean, it can be anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
before
Sounds like an adventure.
oh boy, you said you're not big on talking about what?
Woo. I'm just not into woo. You know, I mean, if you believe in psychics and mind reading and stuff, we probably shouldn't talk about it.
Wow.
'Cause
So
that's-
you wouldn't have. We have a lot of woo-woo artists on our show, and we
Do
will, yeah, we challenge their ideas, and just like we any other believer. Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know. You've never considered having a.
Well, you know, all right, how about this? Jim, I'd like you to come on my show. Jim, come on the Daily Atheist. You're an atheist. I'm an atheist. You're coming on my show to talk about atheism. You're not coming on my show to get blindsided publicly about your woo. So now if I came to you and I said, man, I'm really having a hard time here. If I came to you and said, I'm going to talk to you about woo and I want you to defend your position on woo, that'd be one thing. But that's not what happens on the Daily Show. So like this morning, this guy came in, he started talking about how he touched his newborn baby's son's leg and he knew he was going to be gay. He even said right then he's going to be gay. And later on, he turned out to be gay. I'm like, that's crap, dude. You don't bring that shit on my show. Anyway.
That's post hoc ergo propter hoc, I think, is the logical fallacy there.
Yes.
I did this and it caused this to happen, and the two things are not relevant.
Right. Of course, Damian Marie Adhope was on the show with me co-hosting this morning, and he kind of went at him about it and said, you know, they don't really, because it surprised me. I didn't expect the guy to be a woo believer, and I'm like, that shit don't fly here. And he started out by trying to propagate. I don't know if we're recording or not.
Yeah, we're recording.
Anyway, you can cut out the bad parts. I hope
Yeah,
you do.
I always do, and sometimes I'm a sucker for outtakes, man. My co-hosts know
that's good.
hardly anything ends up on the cutting room floor.
Good. Yeah. Well, I was just surprised. I was like, I don't know, we don't do that shit. People in the chat were asking me, are we doing woo now? I'm like, no. We need to change the subject or things are going to get ugly.
Well, yeah, if your
No,
fan base
yeah.
is used to, I mean, your show is basically just atheists, right? So if your fan base sees something outside that, woo, spirituality, religious believers coming on the show, they're like, what? You know, but it's your show. You can change the format all you want.
Yeah.
Don't be at the beck and call of your fan base. Your fan
No.
base will grow to meet your whatever you decide. You do what you want to do, Chris Mallard, is what I'm saying.
Well, in this particular case, my fan base and I were on the same page. I didn't invite the guy so he could. Well, at first he started out trying to spread some right-wing nutbaggery lies and crap. I'm like, dude, have you looked that stuff up? You should research that before you start saying. And then I made us change the subject because I wasn't going to let him spread his nutbaggery on my show. That's not what he's there for. I didn't know he's into that, or I wouldn't have had him on the show. I even said, man, I don't mean to be rude, but man, I got to start vetting my people a little better.
See, that would be perfect for our show. We have all types of belief systems, all types of ideologies, all types of all the entire gambit on the socio-political spectrum. So our only thing is it's gonna be amicable, and
Yeah, it's best. You can.
and it's only not happened once, and that was oh gosh, it was maybe 2 years ago. Yeah, I guess it was close to 2 years ago. We had a in-person, in-studio, 6-person roundtable, 3 believers, 3 atheists, and I moderated it. And it wasn't really a debate; it was just a discussion. We were talking about Isaiah and the suffering servant, right?
Okay.
If there's actually prophecy in Isaiah that alludes to Jesus, or does it mean Israel? And so we discussed that, right? And the believers too. Well, I think all the believers came. Everyone came with prepared information, and that went out the window. They tried to stick to the script, and it turned into a bunch of tangents. and it got heated emotionally. Well, I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, but one of the atheists that was in the studio was Aaron Ra. And everyone knows how Aaron Ra is. I mean, you should know this coming into it. He's going to challenge your beliefs, and he's going to do it in his unique style. And one of the Christians wasn't prepared for him at all. Didn't know how he, talks to believers in his own special way. And he got offended, and he left in a huff right in the middle of recording, just walked right out the door. So that's the only time we've ever not either virtually or in person shaken hands at the end of a discussion.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I do get it, and I appreciate your channel's format. There are some car lots that sell just Chevrolet, and some car lots sell Chevy and Mitsubishi and Mirage and all this other stuff, and they get just fine. My car lot happens to sell atheists. Yep. And so I'm not against having believers on the show, but it's not their platform. It's my platform. If a believer wants to come on my show, really, to be honest, let's talk about the Daily Atheist Morning Show. The Daily Atheist Morning Show is really supposed to be a morning show with some atheism, and we kind of every now and then talk about the craziness that the religious people are going on, but I want it to be a fun, lighthearted morning show. I'd really rather talk about jokes and make fun of things than go off on these really deep, does this blood mean this thing? Does this mean, that's kind of where I want to roll. I would like to have some Christians on the show, but not for the purpose of fighting or arguing, but for the purpose, or debating, or none of that stuff, but for the purpose of just having a good time on a morning show, having some laughs, that kind of thing. But I don't know how that's going to go. I haven't gotten there. The only Christian I've had so far on the show is Richard Madsen. He's not your typical Christian. He's a little on the different side.
He thinks outside the box. That's for damn sure. So to keep running with that analogy, your show would be the Mercedes only. Come look at our no pre-owned, just brand new Mercedes. And mine is the car lot where everything pre-owned, Hondas, Kias, and it's got the wacky waving inflatable arm man out front.
But you're going to have guys come on your lot and they're going to go, I'm a Mustang guy. Hell with that Dodge Charger. I hate Dodge Chargers. Okay. They suck. He's going to get into a fight with a guy who's likes Dodge. I mean, that's just kind of the thing have whenever you put them in a room together.
You would think, but like I said, there's only happened. There was only bad blood once in 3 years. I think that's pretty. I think that says a lot about our channel. Is we can foster that kind of. We can foster that kind of, and I can't tell you how many comments we get where they say, "Wow, I can't believe that a Christian and an atheist is sitting in a room together, and they're not at each other's throats. This is awesome. I like this. Anyway, tell us more about the Daily Atheist, and let's get plugs out of the way. I like to put them at the top of the show and at the back of the show too. So all your plugs as well.
Okay. Well, hello. I'm Chris, the Daily Atheist. I started out doing series videos. So I've got the Evil God Monster of Abraham series I'm working on now. It's going through the Bible chapter by chapter. And I also do series, A Quickie with a Skeptic, where I'll talk, if some nutbag out there kills their kid by praying over them instead of taking them to the doctor, I'll throw them in a Quickie with the Skeptic episode. So that's really was my bailiwick for quite a while. And then about 3 or 4 months ago, 4 months ago, I started the Daily Atheist Morning Show, and it's kind of blown up. So most people now think of me as the guy with the Daily Atheist Morning Show, but my passion really is these videos that I create. And I do that, and then I write books, try to spread my nutbaggery.
So the Daily Atheist on YouTube, the Daily Atheist on Facebook, easy to find, right? Any other? You have a blog or a website?
Well, I've got dailyatheists.com. I also even have the domain trumpfamilytreason.com, but I haven't put a website there yet. Anyway, you can find me on You can find me on Twitter at atheisting1. I'm the atheisting one.
That'll all be in the description section if I can remember. Sometimes I forget. You'll have to light a fire under my ass on that one.
No worries.
This is the first
time I should have sent you links.
Yeah. Oh, did you? I'll check.
No, I say I should have. I can when we're done.
Okay. All right. Yeah, unfortunately, and damn if I didn't get sucked into a vortex of drama in the last 3-4 days.
Yes, you did.
Oh, then you're aware. I was about to ask
I
you
am aware.
if you are aware. I am trying to slowly back away like it didn't happen. Oh, shit. By the time people watch this isn't going to go out for at least several more weeks. By the time people are watching this, hopefully it is all blown over. No matter what anyone has done to me that I feel was a slight, I'm gonna keep the door open for them to at least apologize and to rectify their actions. And by the same token, anyone that thinks I wronged them, I am open to hearing them out. And if an apology is due, I am the first one to. I've got that humility. I can do that. I can admit when I'm wrong. It's one of our commandments, admit when you're wrong and never double down.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things that I've avoided it. I know vaguely what happened between the two, but I don't know. I haven't picked a side. Well, I guess I really haven't picked a side.
Here's the deal, Chris. The trick is, from my experience, don't pick a side. Give your opinion. Right. Picking a side means you're fully 100% on. And okay.
Oh, right.
Admittedly,
true.
I am fully 100% on. I guess it's semantics because technically I am on Steve's side. I just don't like saying Steve's side because if you say side, it promotes tribalism. And then everyone that for whatever reason, thinks Kyle didn't steal the show from him, and then they're going to come at me like, oh, you're in a different camp and and then it becomes Lord of the Flies and we're stabbing each other. Now, I will talk to someone who thinks Steve is in the right. But if I say I'm in Steve's side, it doesn't foster that kind of communication. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I've been trying to avoid. That's what I'm saying. I've avoided all. I know vaguely what happened. I had Steve on my show last week for Sci-Fi Saturday. Went great. He even invited me to his show. I can't believe it. He sent me a link on Twitter. And I didn't hear it. Me and the wife were out driving out. She wanted to go for a drive, which had been stressful, so we went for a drive. So he offered me an opportunity to be on his show and I missed it. So
nope, Chris. You'll get another chance. Don't worry.
He seemed very cool. I mean, my first couple of experiences with him were rough. They were, him and Duke fighting, him and Kyle. It's always been drama. But the guy has been nothing but awesome to me. I'm not picking any sides though. I don't even know Kyle.
I consider Steve and I really, really tight friends. And even still, I laughed when he called me beautifully naive. I cannot deny that moniker. In fact, I will own that. Beautifully naive. I just think it's all going to get better one day. And it's probably not going to happen. But on the flip side, I gave him a moniker. I called him the reluctant black hole of drama. It seems like drama follows him wherever he goes, whether he likes it or not.
When he was on the Sci-Fi Saturday show the other day, I told him, I was like, I know you're about for controversy. You and controversy go a long way. So Star Trek or Star Wars? That's the controversy. I was like, pick a side, brother. And once you do, the controversy is going to start. People are going to be like, Steve, like Star Wars or Star Trek. He said Star Trek. I don't want to misrepresent Steve. He's a Trekkie.
Okay. Well, after Star Wars episode, what was it, 8? Oh, I'm not saying it ruined the entire franchise, but episode 8 was, in my opinion, worse than the prequels even. And for a number of reasons. And so, gosh, that put a bad taste in my mouth.
When we're done, I'm going to wrap up. I've already sent out my links for tomorrow's show. I think I've got most of my things done. I got to make a phone call, and then I'm going to go watch episode 9, the most recent last one.
See, I'm out of the loop. 9 is already out, right?
Yep.
What was it called?
The Rise of Skywalker.
And I've heard some mixed reviews on that. No, I have not seen that.
Me too. There's this place called tvseries.net where you can spend $10, get 100 points, and each movie is like 5 points. So it's really cheap to watch movies. And as soon as it comes out on Amazon, they pop it up there. So for like $5, so it don't cost almost nothing to watch a movie there.
What website is that?
tvseries.net.
Interesting. Okay.
I've been, of course, you got to give them a credit card. That's really when you're doing. I don't know if I want to do that, but I've been with them since like 2014.
Yeah, my brother does those torrent sites, and
yeah, no, that's wrong. Don't do that.
The Marine in me, I'm a Boy Scout, man. I don't want to break the law, and it's not.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do the wrong thing, and it's not that I fear of getting caught. I just don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to break any. I don't want to break the rules, and it feels illegal.
Get your computer trashed.
That's true.
Trash your computer. Yeah, the viruses and stuff. No, dude, that's why. I mean, I did IT for 10 years. I had my own IT business, providing IT for small businesses. I am CompTIA A+, Network Plus, and Security Plus certified. I don't do.
Wait, you're an IT guy.
Yeah.
10 years because, okay, this is the first time on our show, but I was recently on your show. You mentioned that you lived in West Texas, like Odessa area. So I wasn't thinking IT. I was thinking you were a roughneck. Maybe you worked with the oil rigs.
I did for 20 years, but now I've been IT for 10.
Okay, so you did work with the oil out there. Okay, because everyone I know that lives in Midland or Odessa is connected to the oil industry in some way.
And that's where my business was. I started during the day, I worked at an oil field company doing stuff, various things. I was a manager. I was all this stuff. But by night, I started my IT business, working from home at night. And then I would tell these little businesses around, these other small oil field companies, I was like, you know what? I will work on your computers at night when you're not working on them, so I'm not up under your business. And I started doing so my IT business was called Night Owl Computers. And because I started working it from home in the evenings.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm fairly nerdy. Like I said, I kind of helped talked with your Chris a little bit. And
yeah. I don't know how far that's gotten. He just interviewed, speaking of woo-woo, way out there ideas, he just interviewed somebody yesterday. His first name's Alien. I'm sure it's a pseudonym. It's a nom de plume, but
I'm familiar with him.
You are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really? He sent me an email wanting to debate with me.
Alien, I think his last name starts with M.
Milso or something.
Yes, he interviewed him yesterday.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. Well, the guy,
I haven't even edited the raw footage yet, but it'll be out soon.
Yeah. He sent me an email wanted to challenge me to a debate. He said that he knows the universe is sentient and he can prove it. And then I went to look and see the video, and like the first few minutes of his video was talking about, atoms are really small, and if ants can all talk together. I'm like, dude, I got no time for this. So I sent him a response saying, listen, I'm a fairly sharp guy. I don't need you to explain how ants work, and I don't have time to worry about this stuff. And you say you can prove the universe is this? I was like, listen, I'm gonna pass.
That sounds
actually, I told him, I said, to be honest, this is in the email. I said, to be honest, I have a Mensa card. I'm a member of Mensa. I don't need you to explain to me how atoms work and how all this other stuff. Thank you. I got no time for that. So he sends me back an email going, so what is it? It's a logical fallacy where I'm a claim to, authority?
Appeal to authority?
Appeal to authority. But I haven't responded. I never responded to him. But here's the deal. I wasn't appealing to authority. I didn't say he should listen to me because I had a Mensa card. I said, no, I don't have time to listen to him baby talk me through these concepts because I have a Mensa card. I didn't say he should listen to me. So he doesn't even know what the hell his own logical fallacies are. And anyway, I got no time. You go watch the guy's video. He's got one or two videos. He's sitting there. He's got just like a window behind him. He's got pantyhose over his face, and he talks while he's talking, and he's got all this proof. And he's going to go through talking about how you're in spheres. So you're in the geosphere, and you're up on an airplane, and now you're in the atmosphere, but you're also in the geosphere. And I'm like, dude, I got no time, zero time to sit here and watch this stuff. And, look at the work. I put work into this. I put money and time into this effort, and I'm not going to sit there and debate somebody who's going to put pantyhose over their head. And it's just swinging down. I got zero time for that kind of stuff. And so again, he sent me an email going, "Oh, your logical fallacy, appealing to authority." I'm like, dude, you don't even know what the hell you're talking about, and you want to debate me? And I said, listen. So you don't even have, apparently, based on what I saw in your video, a basic understanding of what atoms and particles and all that shit is, and yet you're going to base your hypothesis, loosely termed, on this. And his response was, well, if I have to be an expert in all these fields, I'm like, be an expert in any one of them. Be just like a little bit of an expert in one of them. Did you graduate high school? Do you know basic science? Just to come at me at that stuff. So I appreciate his swinging up. I am flattered that he wanted to debate me, but I felt like, no, I'm not going to. So I guess I ought to at least write the guy back and point out that it wasn't a logical fallacy, and clearly I wasn't appealing to authority, because otherwise he's probably going to go around going, the Daily Atheist said this, and he was.
Well,
I don't want to go through that kind of crap.
Don't worry.
He might be a great guy, though.
Yeah, once you start worrying too much about what other people say or think, it can become a rabbit hole of pain.
Well, I can say that he did have a captivating way of speaking about him. And although his production quality was low, he was very animate. And the way he was animate was good. I think had we been on the same team and had he had at least put some freaking effort into his production, I would have been more than willing to do stuff with him. He seemed like he could be an entertaining person.
I find that, those are the kind of ideas that we like to have on our show from time to time. Chris is that sounds really fringe beliefs. So I'm glad Chris did that interview, because I try very hard to leave emotion out of it and think rationally. Sometimes it's a feat for me. I have to physically try not to get animated about it. But Chris, he is just Mr. Spock. He's, emotionally, he will just come just facts. So I'm looking forward to hearing how that went. I promise that we'll get to Randall Calrissian, but as a follow-up, when they start making these false correlations, like you said, the atoms and talk to each other because ants are real small and they can talk, that's a false correlation completely. And
his point being that the entire universe is so complex and all these little particles all over that it's a giant brain, I guess, and whatever.
A cosmic consciousness. Oh yeah, there's so many people that think that. And who knows? You know what, Chris? It might be right. But
he might be.
I want to see some actual tangible evidence that isn't a false correlation, first off. But it made me think of my favorite false correlation is that Ray Charles is God. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, Ray Charles is God, and I can prove it because Ray Charles is blind, and love is blind. God is love. So,
damn,
God has to be Ray Charles. Yeah, it's easy. I don't know.
I didn't realize.
Fun fact: I met Ray Charles in an elevator. I was a security guard at a hotel, high school summer job, and he was headed to a concert. He had his entourage with him. And you're going to call me a liar to my face. Here's my Ray Charles anecdote.
Okay. And
no one, I've never told this to someone and they didn't go, you're bullshitting right now. I was taking him down in the elevator and showing his people where to take him out the front stoop and to the limo and to his show. Right. And when the elevator, we're about to get to the lobby, the door's about to open, and he mentions this, hey, I left my teeth in the sink. So one of his people said, hey, Mr. Charles has false teeth. I don't know if you knew, but they're back up in his room. He left them in his room. He doesn't remember where he left them. So I had to take the elevator back up, sprint to his room, figure out which key, get into his room, open the door, woof, marijuana smell, right? Just crazy smell. So I never thought about it, but I guess if you're completely stone blind, I mean, smoking marijuana can still have some benefit. I don't know. I never really thought of that. It's like, you don't need your eyes to get high, I guess. And then here's the part everyone. I ended up finding his teeth in the bathroom sink. It was just sitting there in the sink. Okay. So I kind of rinsed them off and I was heading out and I saw I saw Playboy magazine on his bed in Braille. The front cover, was made of that same material as a brown paper bag, but it had Playboy and it was Braille. Oh, you've seen that?
See, I've actually seen them. I believe you.
Really?
I'm a believer. I have. I've seen one. Yeah, I remember I was like 13 or 14. I saw a Playboy over on a thing, and I was like, I want him, but my dad was there, and he, and then whenever he left and went out of the room, I was over there going, oh shit, there ain't no pictures. There's no pictures. It was like a brown paper bag with just.
I didn't open the magazine up, so I don't. Of course, there can't be any pictures. But that day, I said, "Wow, you can get high and you can look at porn blind," which was crazy to me. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
Randall Calrissian, Chris Mallard. Pick a number between 1 and 100.
Let's go 54.
Ooh, that sounds like a number no one's picked before.
It's a fun one.
Oh, I think the world needs this right now. This might be divine providence. What is the most uplifting thing happening in the world right now?
Right now, the most uplifting thing.
Yeah, like off the top of your head, anything
off the top of my head.
Current events. Is there anything going on right now that is giving people hope or comfort?
I thought you said this was going to be a good one, Jim. I can't think
I'll
anything.
give you a chance to think. I'll give you a chance to think.
Okay,
the one that just popped in my mind was Tom Hanks and his wife. It looks like they're recovering from that virus.
Oh,
and I think that's really.
One.
I think that's a really good sign. But they're
because all of mine are like bad good. Mine are like Rand Paul. Was it Rand Paul?
He just got it.
He just got it. See, that's uplifting. That's uplifting, but that's not the kind of uplifting you're looking for.
I know you don't mean that. You don't wish harm on even Rand Paul, do you?
The guy who wanted to not help other people actually got it. That's some karma right there. It doesn't have my emotions have nothing to do with it. I don't believe in karma, right?
Right.
And no, I really don't wish harm on him, but. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm having a hard time. All right. So Tom Hanks and his wife would be a good uplifting story. That's a good one.
I like how your brain went though.
Yeah. Well, it's just a matter of perspective.
You are truly farther left on the political spectrum than I am. I'm not saying I'm a Rand Paul supporter, but that is interesting. I'm not saying that says anything about you deeper than. Okay, we'll just leave that. Oh, and there's this follow-up to that same question. What is the most tragic thing happening in the world right now? That's pretty easy.
Rand Paul. That's like a win-win question. It went from bad to good. Sorry, Rand Paul, if you're watching. Sorry about that.
Do you know why his first name's Rand? A lot of people don't realize
it's not after Ayn Rand.
Yes, it is.
Oh man.
Yeah, Ron Paul was a huge Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged, Fountainhead fan.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. She had the libertarian leaning as well, but she was an atheist, and a lot of atheists still, especially center and right leaning atheists, look up to some of her. But that is a source of contention. In fact, recently, my local atheist group, we didn't even host the event. We just helped get the word out, for another local atheist group that was hosting a Rand Paul convention. Mm-hmm. And this
really,
yeah. I mean, she has what some people might consider some despicable views, some really callous, selfish. A lot of libertarianism can be seen that way.
Absolutely. Yes, they will step over bodies.
Yes. Yep. But the fact that our group even just helped get the word out, just say, hey, and if you would like to go to this, it's going to be at this date and time. And God, you cannot imagine how many followers we lost, how many yearly subscriptions we lost. It was, come on, people.
Well, talk about divisive people, though. I mean, I had Aaron Raw on my show the other day. Aaron Raw on my show. Normally, my show runs 20 to 25 viewers. It's been growing, but that's where we've been sitting. Aaron Raw on my show, we hit 45 viewers. 45 live viewers, almost doubled my show. Steve McRae was on my show last Saturday, and I had 13 live viewers. It cut my viewership in half. People actually sent me messages saying, listen, I love you. Sorry I missed your show. I just don't watch anything with Steve McRae. Some of my best supporters did not watch my show because of, so there's a divisiveness.
Yeah. Aaron tries very hard to stay above the fray. with all the
Mhm.
drama. Sometimes his silence is construed as supporting one side or the other. So
Yeah.
he can't win. He's doing his best. Steve, though, his channel, I think he loves to fight wrongs, and you can't knock him for that. Whatever he perceives to be a wrong, he's going to right it, and in that sense, he's a warrior, and I can identify with warriors, and it looks like he's not suffering a net loss. Let's say that, as divisive as he is, he gains subs, he gains viewership. And it's a very polarized viewership, but it's working for him. And a lot of these channels that live off the drama, they thrive on it, and the channels grow because they get that loyal fan base. Ours is a more eclectic fan base. I've got supporters on many different ideas that wouldn't normally get along that come to look at us, but I don't, and we're not growing near as much. So maybe what is the good model? I don't know.
Well, in saying that, I wasn't trying to bash Steve as much as I was just to try to exemplify how divisive nature can be effective. We were talking about one thing, and then R and Raw, he's one way by being the other way. Now, Steve, I actually get Steve, I think. I came in and he was debating with Duke about what's an atheist, but he wasn't trying to be a jerk. He's just trying to be correct. Whenever you're speaking in a philosophical, specific terms, you're supposed to use these. When we're talking on the street, you can use these. That's all he was saying. And I totally get what he was saying. As far as Kyle Curtis and what happened, obviously, can't deny. I don't know enough about it, but can't deny. So his divisive nature is, I don't really see it. But other people don't particularly care for him. And that's the deal. Actually, technically, Steve, over the last 30 days has lost 100 subscribers. As we go over the past, he's on a downward curve, and he has
100 to him is nothing. It's like
that's
2
true.
to you and me.
Yeah. So but I'm just saying he's not on that kind of upward curve. When we look at like my channel, let's look at future projections for Steve. I'm curious though. He's kind of got such an interesting thing. Well, it says, according to Social Blade, it says in 5 years, Steve will have 25,000 subscribers.
But that's
estimated.
That's not a good, accurate depiction because he's going to have the non sequitur show back before then. Remember, and that has 30 grand on it already.
And that's good. That's a good argument for that part right there. I could look that one up, but he doesn't have anything there yet. I hope, to be honest, I really hope that is a knock out of the park show because I think he's got something there.
I do too. I hope it gets back to its former glory and then beyond. But
I have 700 subscribers, 800 right now, and my Social Blade predicts me at 140,000 in 5 years. Yeah, I've been skyrocketing. So do I stop? Do I go, okay, I'm done? Do I let it go to my head? Of course, I don't base everything off what Social Blade says, obviously. It's just a guide, a general thing,
140,000. Man, yeah. I hope that happens. That would be awesome.
It makes these predictions for me. It's like in a month you're going to have so many subscribers and so many more, and I keep beating those projections. Matter of fact, the first time I looked at Social Blade, it predicted me at having 79,000 subscribers in 5 years. But my channel's growth has gone so much that my prediction in 5 years is almost doubled.
I used to look at Social Blade religiously, and early on, I would just, oh God, we gained 10 today. And, I guess since then, I've kind of reached a point. Well, of course, our channel has hit a zenith. So this is it for us. Where 8,000 is our cap. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy to provide content for our 8,000 subs. And that is just fine with me. I'm not looking to grow anymore. We've been stuck at 7,600 for, oh God, since before December even. So, and that's okay with me. I think we've hit our zenith, and a lot of shows, there is no growth, there is no loss. And even with all this drama that's going on, we're still just leveling out, and I'm happy with that. Cause it's just, it's just like we talked about on your show, for us, it's just a hobby, even though we made some pretty good merch sales last month, which surprised me.
good.
Yeah, I had enough to actually throw over to a starving artist friend of mine to get our logos updated. So we're getting some fresh logos soon.
Wow,
So
that's
that'll be kind of
awesome.
yeah, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, but you're in the I want to do it for a living business, so it's a different dynamic, you know.
Yeah, it is. My goal, I'm kind of on a path, or I'm hoping so. Who knows? I may plateau and never succeed. I got to be honest with you. I'm a little frustrated with the direction to which my morning show is going. It's not. My viewership hasn't been increasing the way I'd like it to be. There's something missing. There's something missing from it. You can go. Everybody and their dog has 2 people, 3 people, 4 people up on a little panel doing live streams, and they all sit around and BS about crap. Everybody does it. So why is mine any different? I want a morning show, but I just haven't been able to figure out, how to make it different. And that's what's really vexing me. I'm very frustrated with my show. Again, I've had Aaron Ra on my show. I had Dr. Richard Carey was on my show. And these things tell me that I'm doing something right if I'm getting a good enough name to where I can get these people on my show. But I'm watching my show and I'm just not seeing the increase that I want to see. I need a bump.
Carl Merritt, the liberal atheist comic. So I discovered him. I saw one of his stand-ups on YouTube, and he was asking his viewers to get him up to 600. He was at, I think we already talked about this. He was at 500 views, and he wanted to get to 666, and then he blew past that once I had him on my show, and so he got a taste of this upward, spiral, and he liked it, and so I saw him physically. He was disheartened once the party kind of ended and it kind of leveled back out. And so, yeah, I said, don't get discouraged, man. Mix it up a bit. But as long as you keep doing what you're doing, and one of our 23 commandments is constantly strive to improve production quality, which even right now, I was about to say we're kind of complacent, but Chris, my other co-host, he's working on getting us a good OBS studio and maybe going live again eventually. So we, lots of facets. We are still striving to, and we got this new camera. We had a generous benefactor just buy us a new camera, which is kind of cool. Wonderful. So yeah. Okay. Pick a number between 1 and 100.
All right, let's go for an easy one. Let's go 33. Because that's how old Jesus was when he died.
Ooh, this is good. This is good. Especially since you're all about the atheism, just atheist only. Which argument from the other side of the religious debate is the most compelling to you? What do believers say? What argument do believers have that is the hardest for you to refute or counter?
Okay. I think I got something for you here. Though, and this is a little bit on the vague side, because that's the way it's usually approaches me, is that sometimes they'll come at me with this, I don't believe in religion, I don't believe in the God and something, but it's really hard for me to not believe in something bigger than me. And I get that. I get the idea, like we were talking about earlier about the alien Milford or whatever his name is, whose claim is that the universe is sentient. I can't say that's not true. I can't say it is true. I can't say it's not, but it could. I mean, how long has this universe been here?
13.8 billion years.
Billions of years, right? Could something like Q from Star Trek have evolved before us that would appear like a god? I don't know. It's just those kind of things are really complicated. The whole something bigger than me without putting a label on it, I guess, would probably be the best. Because I kind of get it. That was the last step for me, too, to get past that notion. All right, so there's no Jesus. Fine, I finally give up Jesus, but there's still something bigger than me. My best friend, Tony, he went through the same phase. That was the last thing to give up. I referred to him as a deist for a while. The wife, same thing. She was a Christian when we got together, believed in Jesus, and then she kind of eventually got to where, I don't believe in those things anymore, but I just can't deny that I feel like there's something bigger than me in the universe. That's the best I got.
I'm going to challenge your answer just a bit. kind of
Okay.
probe a little, because when Christians say you have to believe in something bigger than you, or 12-step programs say you got to believe in something bigger than you to get through your
Okay.
addiction, right? I always ask them, what do you mean by bigger? Let's drill down, and I want to find out exactly what
Well,
you mean by bigger. More powerful,
I
someone that
want
can
to.
control you.
Yeah, I just want to defend myself, and that you were saying, not that you were attacking, but that you asked me what was the most compelling argument on their side.
Right.
And the reason why I chose that one was because
Uh-huh.
all the rest of them are just completely even more
I see.
ridiculous.
So you
That is
personally
the strongest of the weak. No, I don't believe it. Not at all.
No,
But
I
it's
know.
just the strongest of the weak arguments.
But there's nothing in you that wants to believe in something bigger. You're just saying you can see why some people would want that.
Yes.
Okay.
In my own progression, I had that same feeling. And then eventually I was like, you know what? That doesn't necessarily, there's nothing there. There's no reason why that should be there. And just like everything else they've said with the faith, there's no proof or any evidence to make me believe that the universe is sentient. And that even if it is, does it give a damn what I do? Does it care what I do with my penis on Fridays? And does it care that you're right? What does it care? And this guy, Alien Milford or whatever, who sent me the message the other day, I even talked to him. I was like, so what's your right? You can't prove it. You can't do anything. Let me ask you, you are the universe. You have got billions of cells and bacteria all living in your stomach. You don't care what one bacteria does to another, do you? Do you know when one bacteria sleeps with another bacteria's wife? You don't even know. Well, that's kind of what the claim they're making.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, so that's horrid bacteria.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just to think the creature that big and immense would care about us. And no, I mean, obviously whoever thinks that doesn't understand the vastness of the universe. There are stars that would envelop our entire solar system all the way out to the Oort cloud and maybe much further. I mean, the vastness of that star alone is just immense, and we're nothing. And that the universe is going to give a damn about us? We're an accident. We're like fungus on a piece of toast. I mean, at best. So that's bad answer probably. But
I've never heard it explained that way. Okay, pick another number.
Let's go 38.
Okay, you never served in the military. So an MOS is a military occupational specialty. All right, okay. So you need to know that for this question. Women are now allowed in combat MOSs, and courts have ruled that they are now able to basically women have been in the military for a long time, but just recently they've been allowed in the combat MOSs, artillery, infantry, tankers, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. They can pull triggers now. They can roll they can kick indoors. Do you think some courts have already ruled that they must register for selective service, but the law hasn't been implemented yet? As long as they are now able to be in combat MOSs, do you think the law should be that they should register once a girl hits 18, she should register for the draft, selective service? Should she have to register like all of us do when we hit 18?
I'd have to put some thought into that, because some women, if a woman wants to be able to fill those roles, I believe a woman should be able to fill those roles. I don't believe we should start forcing women to fill those roles. And that's what happens when you do a draft. A draft becomes involuntary. We get into a situation where shit goes down and Trump is pissed off the rest of the world. The rest of the world is kicking our ass. We have to have a draft. So these women now, it's bad enough that the men have to do it. We get one of the largest militaries in the entire planet. We don't even have the draft anymore, do we? It's gone, isn't it?
It's been gone since the Vietnam era, but there's always been a register for the draft since then.
Absolutely.
You and I both, and when we hit 18, you did it, I did it. I did. You have to register.
Yeah. So I would have to say no, really. I'm going to say no. I don't think that they should be compulsory forced to serve military time. I believe that they should be allowed to, if they want to carry a gun, if they want to kick indoors.
Well, that's not what the selective. Yeah, the selective service is not. It's to put you on a list in case we need compulsory service.
And then
That's
what
what-
happens?
Then you get compulsory. Then they
Compulsory service.
Then they
right,
draft you.
right,
Yeah.
right. That's right. So I don't think my little girl. Some women are cut out for that sort of thing and want to. Matter of fact, some men are not cut out for that thing. I don't know, man.
But if all men have to register, see where I'm
I
going?
don't agree with that either. I don't think that's a very good idea either. I mean, it applied at a certain time in our life.
Yeah,
you know, I can see if things got really bad, possibly, you know, but I don't know. I hope we never live in that kind of world again.
But that's what the selective service is for, just in case things get bad. And so let me give you this. When you go to, like Steve McRae and I, we scored 99s on our entrance exam, right? Like,
Only 99, huh?
I think that's as high as you can.
ASVAB.
No, you didn't, because the ASVAB only goes to 99. There is no perfect 100. You scored on your EM or there's side. There's side.
Okay.
There's side scores that can go up to 148, 160s.
Side scores, perhaps.
Yeah, it's like one is your aptitude for electronics, and another one is your aptitude for this, and some of those go way higher. Yeah, but the actual ASVAB only goes. I think 99 is max. It might be 100, but I've never known anyone. Anyway, I'm a code breaker in languages, so you have to have minimum is 96 just to get in the job. He was a nuclear tech, which, I mean, you got to be a freaking genius to even think about doing that. It's the highest attrition rate in the military.
So you're going where?
Okay, sorry. When you walk into a recruiter, you take that ASVAB. If you get male or female, if you get a 50 or a 46, your options are limited. So the female that goes in there and scores a 35, just barely able to even enlist, and can do maybe the scullery, motor T, bulk fuel, or combat arms, like, you know, infantry. And she said, okay, I want to go in no matter what. You know, my options are limited maybe, or I've always wanted to serve, so I'm doing this. And they say, and they pick infantry for her. I mean, that is compulsory, but it's based on you know, volunteering ahead of time. You see what I'm saying? When you go to recruiter, no one, unless you have a contract signed before you go in, they can give you whatever job you want, what they want.
I'm aware.
Yeah. I don't know.
They sent me to El Paso twice, and they offered me I could either be a medical specialist or a clerical because I didn't have a high school diploma. They almost didn't take me because of my high school diploma, because I didn't have a high school diploma, but my ASVAB was so high, they took me.
And without a GED even.
Yeah, I didn't even have GED. Yeah, that's
but
back
your
in
ASVAB
1989.
was so high. Wow.
Yeah.
See, now
I'm pretty sure my lowest individual score was 126 on the ASVAB. That's what I thought. I've been thinking that for a long, long time.
Well, you said you were Mensa. I was going to ask you. My IQ is 138. I've tested it twice, the UK and the US model. So what's the minimum to get in Mensa? I think 140. 130. Oh, shit. Yeah. So if I wanted to try, not that I would want to, I don't think.
Why not?
Because my intelligence is very specialized and it's not general and well-rounded. So I would probably do very poorly. Yeah.
Well, no, that's one of the beauties about IQ. Yeah, your IQ, it's beauties and horrors. You can't wrap it all up into one, you know. And some people are foreigners. I don't know. It's a bad measure. It's a bad metric. But I think the only reason why I think someone like you would appreciate having that kind of badge to put on you is because a person with your history doesn't really scream Mensa, and people will underestimate your intelligence, military. They just think jarhead. They don't know you can be smart or emotional or a deep thinker or any of these things. And so that's just a badge to put on your shoulder. I got my little Mensa badge right here.
What is your IQ?
Well, Mensa's was 135.
135.
But that just, again, it varies depending on tests. Right. And I mean, the first time I ever had my IQ tested, I was 12 years old going to an elementary school, and we were failing. Me and my twin brother. I have a twin brother. And then it was like in the low 140s. But then again, I was 12 years old being tested on a different scale. So it depends on which scale you test, whether you're on the Welcher test or any of these things. But just get above that bar and you're fine. You know?
Interesting.
Well, then we have other problems once you hit, smart people have other issues, overthinking things and just, yeah.
Oh, this will go out way after the fact. So this is me. It's not even on our channel yet, but by the time you're watching this, it will be. I interviewed him at Meta, and he gave me an exclusive. First time
Really?
I got an exclusive out of him. He will be, I can say this. He will be on Jeopardy on April 1st. He's going to be a contestant on Jeopardy. And so at the time that we recorded the show, he had already done the show. So that was pre-recorded. It's kind of a little inception thing. Yeah, and he couldn't tell me how he did, but he had a smile on his face. So I'm looking forward to watching that. That's kind of cool. Emmett Mehta from the Friendly Atheist.
Friendly Atheist.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I like him. He's awesome. He's one of the ones I'd like to get on the show. So does he not do interviews, or you mean that was the exclusive was that he was on?
The exclusive was we were the first to. We were the first channel, the first show that he has told publicly that he was going to be on Jeopardy.
That is awesome. Your channel was one of the first channels. Well, there was you guys and Steve. And those were the kind of first ones I really got. And then Talk Heathen. I became aware of Talk Heathen before I became aware of Atheist Experience. Excuse me. So to me, Talk Heathen is the big Austin show, and Atheist Experience is the other show. Thanks to Carl Merritt. I met Carl Merritt and you guys whenever I came on this sphere. So Atheist Edge, Steve McCraig, those kind of things were some of my earliest.
Courtney was on Talk Heathen just, I guess it was late last year. Yeah. She loved it. Drove down and did the whole thing and rubbed elbows with the big wigs. Kind of cool.
I'd still like to see about getting her on my show one of these days.
Oh shit, that would be easy as hell. Well, she does it. Of course, she's also the co-host of In Time, which is it's almost a daily. I think it is daily talk show. So I mean, yeah, she's getting pulled in a lot of different directions now, but we can totally make that happen.
Well, I have to say it is nice to be on a show where I don't have to do anything. You sent me a link. I click the link. I pop in. I'm like, hi, blah, 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 blah. And then we're done. And we're done and I'm going to go away. And you got to do all the editing. Now, normally we're done and I got to do all the work and there's more work and sending out links. And it's nice to be on the other side of it.
And, the benefit of collaborations with other atheists, right? Like working on a project together. So I did all the heavy lifting on a show called it was about Clee Irwin and quantum gravity. It was a bunch of woo-woo, right? Okay. And so Jen with one N is another YouTuber. And so her and I worked on, but I did all the heavy lifting. I sent her side of the script. She just read the script and did some animation, sent it back to me. So I said, hey, let's do another collab. She goes, yes, fucking, because that was fun as hell. I was like, indeed, this time you're going to write the script and I'm going to read that shit and send it to you. So it's, you go back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm doing this thing now with Damien Marie Adhope where we're doing the History Voyagers. And he's really got a lot of research into this history stuff, but really it's all his work. And he just wanted me to come in and help him host it. And hi, this is Chris from the Daily Atheist and edit the video. Because he doesn't know anything about editing video. So, that's the job, man. I'll tell you, my Daily Atheist, my Evil God Monster of Abraham videos, it's about a 12-minute video. I'll record it. It'll take me 5 or 6 or 8 hours or however many hours to write the script. And then, 30 minutes to record it and get all that part down. And then another 8 hours to edit it. Because, I don't know if you've seen my videos. I got jump cuts and pictures and music and not music, but all kinds of there's a lot of work that goes into it. People don't realize that being a YouTuber is a lot of work, especially if you do pre-recorded videos.
The people that only do live will never know our pain. Never know.
And the funny thing is people get with me and they're like, dude, you're a beast. You just crank out content. I'm like, yeah, the morning show. I get up and I go. And when I'm done, I'm like, done. And then I build tomorrow's show. The hardest part is finding new people. Well, I say that. The hardest part really is building this. But anyway, finding people on the regular to be on my show. Matter of fact, I was thinking about this. I have a show. You have a show. Neil has a show. Math Pig has a show. There's a whole bunch of people who have shows, and we often interview the same people. We have the similar people. I was wondering if we could all, or at least get a group of us together and get one person to be our show scheduler, even if we collectively hired a person to schedule out shows and get people on the show.
Interesting.
Working together for all of us, pooling our,
I like
Just a
that
thought.
idea. The logistics of that. I'm not saying it's impossible. But if it did get up and running, that would be a beautifully oiled machine, though. I like that
if we
idea.
could. Finding somebody willing to do it.
Oh, I'm going to be on Neil's show.
Hard.
I'm going to be on Neil's show on the 28th. By the time you see this, it'll probably be way past the 28th. So that will be on his channel. And he does deconversion stories. So I'm a cradle atheist. I don't know if he's ever had a cradle atheist on his show before. And I don't know if he realizes I don't have a deconversion story, but I do have some cool anecdotes that happened along the way.
Yeah. In your case, you're in a unique position where you might be able to relay deconversion stories from the other side. Have you helped other people deconvert?
Yes. That's not my goal. I make it clear every time I talk about this. It's not my goal, but we do periodically, in 3 years, it's only been maybe half a dozen emails and little notes to us saying, thank you, or the books that I wrote. My first book, got someone to deconvert. So it's humbling. It's, I'm honored, but that's not my goal. If you need religion, we already talked about this. If you need religion to be a good person and to find comfort and solace from the dark and death and the fear of, all your fears, then just keep believing in that.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It's not my goal. Anyway, let's see.
I'm a preach to the choir kind of guy. I'm not really interested in arguing with people trying to change their mind. I want to get with other people, learn, agree.
Absolutely. Okay, Chris, hit me with another number.
Let's do 66. We haven't done 66. You got to do 66. Yeah.
Okay, it might take you a while to think about this one because it's a lot to draw on. What is your favorite YouTube video? All-time favorite YouTube video? It can't be one of your own.
Oh,
your all-time favorite YouTube video.
Okay.
You want some time? You got it already. Okay.
I got it.
Right.
Les Miserables, the musical Les Miserables, just the music. If there's a YouTube video that has just the music, and I listen to it all the time. My wife and I went to the play like 3 years ago at the local playhouse. This traveling troupe came in. They did a beautiful job, but I couldn't hear it. I didn't know what the hell was going on. The wife was bawling like a baby a few minutes into it. So we came home, and I watched Hugh Jackman and I watched that version of and oh man, I loved it. I sing it all the time. I got it on my phone. That's 3 years ago, and it still plays on my phone between that and Sawyer Brown.
I wrote it down, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to go and listen to it. But full disclosure, I guess my viewers already know this, but I get very little pleasure out of anything aesthetic, artistic, music, literature, poetry. So I mean, very, very little. I'm not saying I'm completely Mr. Spock or Sheldon from Big Bang Theory, but I'm as close as you can get. My wife calls me a robot, so I don't get pleasure from aesthetics. So I'll give it a shot. And
well, you don't, that's one of my bags. Though. I mean, I like show tunes. Don Quixote de la Mancha. The Man of La Mancha. I love singing those songs. Hear me now. Oh, I'll be doing the dishes downstairs. That's my bag. It may not be your bag. This is not a green screen. That's a real cello.
Yeah,
and
we talked about that on your show. Yeah.
Cello. Yeah. I have a piano in the other room that I taught myself how to play the piano. I've been teaching myself Spanish and Italian. And I'm not.
How far are you along on Spanish?
Well, Spanish, actually, I got a pretty good grip on because I'm from Texas. But again, it's one of those things, if you don't use it, and I was just killing it for a few months there, really practicing, really studying. I was like, I'm going to learn this language and be fluent. But then I stopped. I started building my YouTube channel again.
Usted puede entiende lo que estoy diciéndote?
No. What? Say that again.
Can you understand what I'm saying to you?
Well, I got the can you part, but yeah, okay. No, that's part of my deal. See. If I was to read it out on the thing, I would probably do really good because almost all of my local training has been through Duolingo. And so I can actually read it better than I can speak it. So I crave the opportunity to speak and learn it. I knew all the words you said. As a matter of fact, some of them are very similar to Italian,
Oh,
which
yeah.
was the one I learned and knew the most of. Again, it's what I knew the most of Italian. I'd been through 3 years of Italian study, self-study. But then after 3 years of non-use, what do I got?
Oh, it's a
nothing.
very perishable skill. So that's what I did for a living in the Marine Corps. I did Spanish translation, Japanese, and code breaking. So I could hear it. I can still hear it pretty well. So every once in a while, if someone's speaking to me, I have to tell them to, hable más despacio, por favor. Háblame como yo tengo 5 años. Like, talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old, right?
Right.
Because when I speak it, it sounds so goddamn. It sounds like I'm, the Stephen Hawking machine. It's totally just textbook, exactly.
Well, when you said
out
it,
of
that
a
was
book.
funny. When you said it, you stopped and you're like total white guy, Dociendo Pueblo, and I'm like,
I'm trying to say it like
Are you picking on me?
No, that's how I talk it.
Yeah.
That's how I speak it. But I've been to 43 countries, lived briefly in Central South America and Bogota, Caracas, Venezuela. I lived in Cuba for 3 years. So I can hear it pretty well. I can read it like as good as a college student, a native Spanish speaking. So I can read it well. In fact, I read Cujo from cover to cover in Spanish. Didn't look up one word. So I got that. But speaking it sounds so just gringo as hell. Yeah. But it's in a way that they can understand me, and it might not have all their little bells and whistles and their colloquialisms and slang. It's going to be straight out of a textbook, but they're going to get the message.
Oh, they'll get it. Yeah. And that's my deal. I crave the opportunity to use it, but I gotta be honest, man. We already talked about how you guys have a hobby. I treat it like a job, and I have zero time. Like I was saying earlier about the alien guy. It's not that I don't want necessarily to engage him. I don't have time to sit through all of his crap while he tries to explain this basic stuff to me. I got a show to build. I got people to contact. I don't know. Have you watched the show, the Daily Atheist Morning Show? Recently?
I've kind of hit the wave tops. I can't be much of a consumer because I edit.
I believe you
so much now. Yeah,
absolutely. So if you go watch today's show, you'll see there's tech, there's flames, there's cool. My whole show has changed from last week. And I had to build all that. The week before, I had to switch from StreamYards to Streamlabs. OBS. So I had to build all that. So man, I just don't have, I'm with this full-time job. I just don't have time for those other, like you said, you're hitting the wave tops. I don't have time to sit there and watch all of Jim's content and watch all of Chris's content and watch all Bob's content. I barely got time to produce my own content.
The most heartbreaking thing of becoming a content creator is you don't get to consume as much. It's sad. If you Chris Mallard, intelligent, well-spoken, knows his shit, the content, the production quality is fucking the tits already, and it's just going to go higher from there. If there's the community needs people like you, and the fact that you have aspirations of becoming a full-time atheist, like Seth Andrews or Aaron Ra, is noble, is commendable, and anything that we can do on our end although we will never be there, and that's not our goal, anything we can do to help propel you up there, it'll help us, it'll help everybody.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, obviously you're going to have me on your show. That helps a lot. You're welcome to come back and be on my show whenever you want, weekend edition, so it's easier on your sleeping time. And just be there. You guys have been awesome. Whenever I get the chance to come down to Austin, I'll let you know well in advance, or DFW area. You're in the DFW area.
Yeah.
I'll let you know well in advance, and we'll swing by and I'll try to get on your show. And, just like there's some saying they've got going around the atheist sphere here on the internet is, that all the rising tide lifts all boats.
That's what Thomas Westbrook says. And I hold true to that.
There's a lot of that going on.
I just texted him yesterday because I was editing. It was the middle of the night, and I was doing audio, and audio is my worst, man. I suck at the audio labs. So I'm trying to get it. And then I remembered a little Thomas Westbrook, because he was in studio once. It was around Christmas time. It was like 2 years ago, but he came to our studio, and after we filmed, he gave us, because it was like 2.5. I mean, we were young, right? And I was writing shit down faster than he could talk, and he was just giving us so much good scoop, and one of them was how to normalize the audio. So I sent him a little text saying, "Hey, man, remember that time 3 years ago when you said this? I'm using it right now, man. I haven't forgotten. Thank you." And yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Audio is the bane of my existence. So any tips? Yeah. Any help?
Well, no, I got a video. It's probably already out it's probably already out now, but it's not out yet as we're recording this. But I did a 30-minute thing with some atheist musician, and there's this hum under it. It's a ground noise loop underneath. Audacity couldn't pull it out. So I'm putting the video. Fuck it. I'm not going to premiere it live, so I don't need the live chat telling me I suck. So I'm just gonna I'm just gonna put it out, and I'll deal with the comments. I even put some little disclaimers at the beginning and throughout the video saying, sorry about the audio. Hey, skip it if it's really too much for you, because it's this droning little hum underneath. Mm-hmm. And I cannot. Anyway.
Okay, I'll tell you something real quick. I am an actor, and here in Albuquerque, I act under the nom de plume of Chris Black. And Albuquerque Netflix bought a studio here and is dumping $10 billion over the next 10 years. And so they got all kinds of projects going on here. And there was this audition for a West Texas sheriff. I am 6'3" tall.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Did I tell you the story?
I think so.
Yeah.
No, say it on my show now.
Oh, well, so I do this audition for this role of this West Texas sheriff. I'll even show you here, brother, if you don't mind me doing this real quick.
Yes. See,
I went and bought a cowboy hat specifically for the audition. I knew I'd probably need it later on. I'm from Texas. I do not like cowboys.
Is that felt?
Cowboys,
is that beaver?
Yeah. Oh, well, no, it's just cheap, like $100.
Okay,
but I'm not that kind of cowboy that knows.
Yeah, this drill instructor, Marine Corps campaign cover, that's a beaver. It's like 3 times the price of a normal campaign cover. So there's like some. Yeah, but if you're doing it for.
I saw that.
Oh yeah,
I saw that back in the background of your video when we were on the show the other day.
Yep.
So I went out. I bought this hat. I bought a vest. Like they wear the white shirt with the vest, and then they've got the bolo and the blue jeans, and they wear the boots. The only thing I didn't wear was the boots. I set up my studio. I recorded these auditions. This is sheriff, and really what it was a news. He was giving a news report on the news where they come up to the podium and tell you about what's happening. So I did that thing, and I did the audio. I couldn't hear it on my system up here. I couldn't hear it on my system downstairs. But whenever I played it back on YouTube, because I uploaded it to YouTube and I sent him the link. For the people for the audition, it had this horrible, nasty buzz. It was almost as loud as my voice. Obviously, I didn't get the role. Audio.
No, when you sent it to them?
No. Not until I listened to it back on the YouTube did I hear the buzz. And something about my system, I've got a completely different system now. It's not the same at all.
But here's the deal. Like, I know why it happens. I think I know why when it does happen. I think it's because someone in our studio has maybe 5G or some sort of it's usually when a cell phone is too close to our equipment. Mm-hmm. I think that's it. Even when our camera because all our cameras are Wi-Fi enabled, so we put them on airplane mode. We make sure that they're not connected to anything, so it limits that possibility. But every once in a while, like Aaron, when he comes to the studio, I think he has like a 5G. It's a certain type of cell phone. Whenever he gets close to our equipment, it goes haywire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In this case, it was a Rode mic, a Rode, however you say it, Rode microphone.
Rode.
Yeah, it was for the one that my Canon 610i that I purchased for it. Yeah, it turned out to be the microphone. That's actually literally the reason why I bought the lapel mic that I use, was because that microphone was on it. I don't know how to share videos. Not that I want to kill yours, but I actually found the audition of me auditioning for that. I have it here on video. Maybe I can.
Can you screen share it?
Can I in OBS?
Yeah. Oh, no, you can screen share right now.
Ha ha ha.
Oh shit!
Look at it.
You
I bought the glasses. I had I handlebarred my mustache.
you look like a old West a preacher.
Kind of does.
Yeah,
Well,
you
especially when I get the cowboy hat on, it does the full Texas thing.
looks like
If
the
I'd have
street
had a
preacher.
star, yeah, it kind of does. Yeah. Well, yeah. They're not too far. And so I actually played this. I had pre-recorded the lines. So here I go. And I'm actually supposed to be doing the thing. I'm supposed to be sitting at a desk. And then you'll hear the other lines in the background.
Oh, it's not doing the sound. Oh well.
Oh, it's not doing sound?
Nah,
Oh, okay.
I'm not hearing the
so
sound.
there it is.
That's cool.
Yeah, so you couldn't hear the buzzing.
Have you got what kind of work have you gotten though as an actor?
Well, I've been in a couple of little series here in Albuquerque. There's a movie. Can I stop sharing? Stop sharing. There's a new series coming out on Netflix called Messiah. And in episode 4, 5,
I
and
binged
6,
watched the shit out of that. I love it.
Did you really? Well, I'm in it.
Yeah.
Episode 4, 5, and 6 around thereabouts. You should see me walking through with in the background. I'm a background actor, and I have my tattoos.
You're shitting me. Now I'm gonna have to go back and.
There's a scene where they're
I can't wait for
season
2. Oh my god, that's a great series.
You know, I haven't even watched it. Me and my wife, whenever they came out with, whenever it finally released on Netflix, we went and we saw this hotel scene. There's this scene where one of the main actors, I don't remember his name. He's a little Hispanic guy. I'm sorry for not remembering your name. He's in a hotel. He's leaving, checking out of the hotel, and he notices the look on the lady's face, and she's looking behind him. So he turns around, and there's a screen on a TV screen, and it's showing news about the Messiah guy. Of course, there's nothing really on the screen. He's just acting, But I'm actually over there if you pause that scene, you can see me standing over there behind.
If you send me a screenshot of that, because if you send a screenshot, I'll know exactly what part of because I binged the whole thing. Yeah, the little Hispanic guy is the West Texas pastor that the Messiah comes to when he escapes the Middle East, and I don't want to I don't want to spoiler alert it, but yeah.
No. Yeah, that's totally it.
He becomes one of his kind of disciples, his main disciple when he makes his pilgrimage to Washington, D.C. Gotcha. Oh, it's such a great, oh my gosh. If atheist, believer, doesn't matter. Just you're going to love this series. I cannot.
Because I'm in it.
That's so cool.
Yeah. There was another show filmed here called The Curse and the Covenant. And in that one, it's an independent movie. And that's the only one. Well, I'm a dying knight at the beginning of it. It opens up and it's the hero of the show is traveling and he finds this dying knight and briefly talks to him and then he goes on. I play the dying knight. So I'm just laying there in knight's armor. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Cool. And there's another one. All right, so I adopted my son. He lives down in Texas with his mom. So I adopted him with her from his dad, right? And then a few years later, we got divorced. So it went from being like a outright purchase to more of a lease to own. Anyway, so now he comes up.
Oh God!
Every summer he'll come up and he'll do the acting with me. So last summer he came up while he was up here, and we did this. It's another independent. It's called the Offset web series. And what the deal is like Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's in a movie, and they say cut. What does Wonder Woman do? Well, she goes home. Right. In his office, it's a really cute little series. It could be better produced, but in his little series, it's about Wonder Woman kicking it home, drinking beers, going on dates, And so in this particular episode that me and my son are in, he came up and we got to be in it. It's about Gandalf. Gandalf has given up Middle Earth and he's moved to Albuquerque and he's running into all these hobos who are asking him for drugs and he thinks they're other wizards because they're doing weird kind of stuff and it's all funny. And then I play a driving instructor. And my son plays his driving student. And we pull up, and I say, "Don't worry, son, you'll be okay. You got this. You'll pass." So I don't say son, he's my student. I say, "You're going to pass." And then Gandalf steps out and says, "You shall not." And he does the thing, So
you got lines. Like you got lines.
Yeah, I have lines.
I've never gotten lines. I was a cast extra in Drop Zone with Wesley Snipes. And my parents were in the classic final scene of the original Logan's Run.
Gotcha. Well, really? Wow. All right, let's put that over here. Let's set that over here. The little Mexican guy, I'm sorry again, I don't even know. He's not even Mexican. He's just Hispanic in nature. From the Messiah show, I spoke to him while he was preparing for that scene that I told
Great
you.
actor.
I got to talk
Holy
to him.
shit, that guy can
Really
act.
wonderful. And you know, there's a scene I think where he's like in the show, he's cleaning some hate off the side of the church. Somebody had scribbled
After the
something in
tornado.
this-
Oh no, someone wrote so false prophet or
Yeah.
fake Jesus or yes.
And he's doing something to it, cleaning or something. Whenever he was preparing for his scene, while there's hundreds of people on the set going about, he was over there, he was working. This guy, I mean, that man takes that craft very seriously.
Method,
you know, like
method actor.
Yeah. So you're the camera, right? You're the camera. You're looking over his shoulder. Remember, I told you he's at the hotel. He's fixing to leave. He doesn't know that the Messiah is all over the news that he's been running around with. So he talks to that lady and he turns. So she's looking at something behind him. So he turns and he looks and he's like, and he's making faces at nothing. There's nothing behind him, but he's supposed to be making a face like he's seeing this important stuff. And he did it over and over again. I was like, dude, he just rocked. It was awesome. Watching that stuff. As a wannabe actor, right? All right, I've been to a few classes. I've been in a couple of things, but you ain't an actor until you're paying your bills. I'm just a wannabe actor. So.
Well,
to be honest, I gave up all the acting to do this.
Yes.
I don't act anymore. I do this.
Don't split your time. You're on a good trajectory here. I would recommend just keep doing this and see where it takes you because I got high hopes. All right, let's try to get to two more. What do you say? You got time?
Sure, yeah.
You got time?
Yeah, I got time. I'm all yours.
Okay, 1 to 100.
Okay, let's go 12.
Ooh. As of now, from the inception of your show to now, is what you have found to be your biggest strengths, the unique qualities that you can lend to the atheist YouTube community, and your biggest weakness?
You know, I want to say this without sounding like a self-absorbed jerk. But
it's
the
built
thing
that
I think
way.
I bring,
it's impossible to not.
I think the thing I bring to the channel is personality. I've just got a personality that I think is amiable, that people like, and it helps me spread my message. I've watched other people with lesser personalities, and I understand. I'm not trying to be judgmental or anything. I'm just saying that's one of my strengths is I feel like I've got a good personality, and I'm cute. One of my weaknesses, I got this really shitty personality.
No, give me a real weakness.
The weaknesses, patience. Patience is my worst. I mean, this is not happening fast enough. Right now, I don't know, for those who know or have been keeping up, about a month ago, I worked myself out of a job. I did IT for this business, and once all their IT was taken care of, I no longer had a job. My wife is floating everything now. I can't build this business fast enough. I just can't. I just don't have the patience, but I'm trying. Things like you telling me those things, when you say, man, you're on the right path. I know it's slow growing now, but stick to it. It'll get there. Dude, I hear those words in my head and it keeps me going. I really do.
You know the old saying, the first 100 subs is the hardest to get, and then the next 1,000 is the next hardest to get. After 1,000, it's kind of like, it's like a roller coaster. First 100, the next 1,000. Once you hit 1,000, it's sky's the limit. It's wherever you. Once you hit 1,000, you get monetized. You get your unique URL. You can have youtube.com/the Daily Atheist.
You get that at 100. I got mine at 100.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but you do get to monetize and all the top chat.
No, there's something else at 1,000 then. Yeah, there's a lot of things at 1,000. Oh,
there's a lot at 1,000.
Oh, and I will. Okay, you ready for a recommendation from someone just slightly bigger than you, right? As of this recording, I think it's once you hit 1,000. One of the other benefits is you can post things on YouTube without making it a video. You can just post informational shit. You can turn YouTube into basically Facebook. So the Geek Room does it all the time, and. My opinion, I love Frank over there at Geek Room. I think maybe they might overdo it a little bit. So my recommendation is go sparingly on those informational posts. You can post on YouTube where people see it in their recommended feed. It's not a video. It might just be a graphic or a meme or a photo or just text. And it's saying, hey, it can be, hey, check out, we got a video. we're dropping a video tomorrow. Make sure you catch it, or something like that. Or it can just be something funny. It might be something completely unrelated. But if you do it like every day, I see people tuning out because they want actual content. If they see Atheist Edge, if they see the Daily Atheist, and it's something they click on and they're not getting the video, they're like, what the fuck, man?
That's right. That's right.
So when you do get that ability, just go sparingly is my recommendation.
Well, I probably won't use that at all. I'm a big Facebooker, Twitter person. Well, I barely know how to use Twitter, but I've got enough on my plate as it is without having to take on a new form of visiting. But things like Top Chat and being able to use the shelf, the merchandise shelf on YouTube, those things will help a lot in getting sales and stuff like that. But, I'm not one of those people who believes YouTube traffic is going to make me pay my bills. It's going to be YouTube traffic, Patreons. I have a website I'm building. I have affiliate links, merch sales. There's no way. Yeah. Merch
makes more money than our ad revenue and our Patreon put together by far.
Yeah.
And it just so happens, I don't know if Courtney and Chris realized this when we did our contract. I wasn't trying to screw them over, but the stipulation was we split the ad revenue. Well, it used to be 4 ways when TJ was here. So now we split the revenue 3 ways. We split the Patreon 3 ways, but the merch all goes to me to help build the channel. Like I used, we made some good merch sales last month, and I put some of it into getting new logos done. But I don't know if they realized that was going to be our cash cow.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Well, both of them, at least her anyway, she's got her own thing going on the other side. So this,
she's a full-time psychologist too. Even Chris, it's just both of them. I'm retired, but they have full-time jobs, and I'm happy just the way we are, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a comforting. It's kind of a relief when you finally say, "Oh, so we plateaued." Okay, kind of weird. I was kind of hoping for 10,000 instead of 8,000, but so this is our plateau. Okay, let's work with this, and I can just go, oh, okay. So I'm not constantly, I understand that rat race of trying to keep going up. No, it's not there for me now.
Well, right now, I'm just unhappy with the way my show has been going, the morning show. I just want more. Like I want more out of it. I want it to be funnier. I want it to be more fun.
Well, add some bits, maybe. Like radio shows do. Just throw some little recurring segments in there, little bits. Maybe that might help. I don't know.
I'm absolutely thinking about that very kind of thing. Yeah,
like Rando Calrissian. This Rando Calrissian. This is a bit.
Yeah.
Even though we go off on tons of tangents, but yeah. We did
absolutely.
We did a
like
50
call-in.
Oh, what was it?
I'm sorry, like the call-in thing. But go ahead, 50-part what?
Oh, we did a 50-part series on just Bible trivia, and it ended at 50. And you can see it. There's a playlist just for test your Bible knowledge. It's 50 parts, 50 different videos.
Really?
And
wow, how long have you guys been doing this?
3 years in April.
Wow.
Oh, let's see. Okay, let's do. If there's a tangent, we will get through one more. If there's no tangents and you answer quickly, we'll do 2 more.
Okay.
Okay, 1 to 100.
Let's go 18.
Oh, shit. Well, here comes a hot button. Ready?
Okay.
This is a hot button question. The LGBT flag, right? It's that rainbow flag.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen the one that has the brown and the black stripes on it?
No, but I know they evolve. Their situation is evolving. Yeah. Okay.
Do you think that takes away from the LGBT message when race wants to get involved? And then, of course,
is that what that's for? I didn't know that was.
Yes, the black and the brown meaning. Well, it's other perceived, I
get it.
Marginalized minorities that want to. One side would say, well, they're riding on the coattails of the LGBT movement. It has nothing to do with it. Yeah. They just want to get their toe in the door on this. And then there's some camps will say, well, it should be all inclusive. And then another camp would say, oh, if it's all inclusive, why isn't there a white stripe? And then you get the Blue Lives Matter, the counter the Black Lives Matter. And then everyone's fighting everybody. So my question is
no.
no blue, no brown and black stripes on the LGBT
That's not
flag.
what that's for. No, whenever you said, do you think about those? I didn't know what they were for. But I said, but I do believe the LGBT community is growing because now it's Qs and pluses and all these other things. No offense to anybody. I'm not keeping up with it. So that's why I said that without knowing more about it. I was just giving them the credit. But now that you've explained it to me, no, they aren't the same. That Black people and brown people have unique struggles that I will never face. I cannot deny that at all. And they too need a voice. Can't deny that at all. That's just not the place for that. You know, race and sexual orientation are not the same. Trying to lump them together is, I guess you could see it as I don't think they're intentionally trying to marginalize the LGBTQ community. I think they're trying to get awareness about their own on the coattails of that. And, you know, now if you were saying that was specifically for gay, Black, and brown people, that would be one thing. But that's my understanding. That's not what this is about.
But then by the same token, would you have to include gay white people and put a white stripe?
There you go. Yeah. And then where does it stop?
Because they're marginalized
we're all
too.
Brown.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a really good
so
answer.
where do they stop? Do they start with white and go all the way to black and just have gray, you know, the spectrum? I mean, you know, so I'm going to have to say no on that one. No, perfectly fine for them to have their own causes. And because they are marginalized and smaller and being trod upon, I don't see it the same as white supremacists. They're not Black supremacists, they're Black equalitists. They're not brown supremacists, they're brown equalitists. White supremacist is ugly. Black equalitist is just people struggling for their rights to get by. That's how I see it.
That's profound. I love and I admire and I encourage my guests to disagree with me, but we happen to agree on this one. All right, we got time for a final one. Let's see.
Awesome.
Last
Uno
one.
más.
Oh, de ahora en adelante hablamos en este idioma si puede.
See, you're going to just have to go slower.
From here on out, we can speak in Spanish just for your practice if you want. Oh no,
I wish I could. I would just end up embarrassing myself. That's why I say I crave that kind of practice. Right. I do. I do really well in the words, but I crave that kind of practice. Obviously not live on this show.
I would love to do it. You know what? I never thought about it. I would really embarrass myself horribly, but I don't care. Like to get a native Spanish speaker guest and do it all in Spanish, and he can correct me,
awesome.
which he will. He will correct the shit out of me, and I will probably have to revert to English at some points, like for specialized terminology. But man, to try that and then to market that to maybe Latin America. Yeah. Oh, dude, I should do that.
That's the whole deal. I wish I was as far along as you are. You know, because now, of course, again, I've lost. How much have I lost in the months since I dropped it? You know, this is what I did every day. I'd get up every day. I'd read my news. I'd drink my coffee. Then I would play my cello for an hour. Then I would work on Spanish for an hour. Then I would go to work.
Dude,
and I've lost doing both of those. I hardly play the cello at all anymore.
Language. Well, I'm a martial artist. I was teaching at age 15. So I have 4 black belts. That's the only thing I can compare it to is language. It's so perishable because you think that you're a badass, but if you haven't gone to a dojo, you haven't rolled on a mat, you haven't tapped anyone out in months, and then you go back and try to do it again. Oh shit. It's like starting over, but then once you get into it, it comes flooding back quick. Same with you. You think you've lost all your Spanish. I liken it to a bicycle tire with a slow leak. So the bicycle tire is fine, and then it leaks down, but it's different than a bicycle tire. So once you get back at it, it feels like you're starting all over. But once you start doing it, I mean, within an hour, boom, that tire is back full again. Yeah. So it's still there. It'll come back way quicker.
That's right. One of my personal goals in life, is to get my channel up, get to making a living. I don't expect to be a millionaire off a channel. Just make a living, at least take some of the load off the wife. And then once things have settled down, I fully plan to get back to my Spanish, my cello on the regular. I like doing them every day when I first get up.
All right, let's set a goal, Chris Mallard. Next show, whether on your channel or mine, we try to do it all in Spanish. Let's make that a goal.
We could try, but I'm so far out though. We'd have to be willing to go, okay, it ain't gonna work. Let's do it in English. As long as you're willing to do that.
You can do 3-way. You can do 3-way on your channel, right? Because you can do a 3 no, I know, right? Someone's gonna Math Pig is going to, because Math Pig always takes all my shit out of content context and turns it into like this funny video. It's the funniest shit ever. But yeah, so right now Chris is working on OBS and hosting multiple people. But right now I'm just doing the pre-recorded Zoom thing where it's one-on-one. If I brought a third person in here right now, we could only talk for 40 minutes because I'm not paying for it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, unless you pay for the subscription, you can only have. So if you had a third person in that was a native Spanish speaker and we are all talking, maybe he could walk us through this, walk us through it. It might be fun.
I can do that. I can have up to 4 people on my show.
Oh shit, nice.
I mean, of course, I use Streamlabs, so I can have 6 people in. But with my show, I'm using OBS, so I have to build every person, put a frame around them, put their name up there. Right now, I've only built that for 4, so I could, yeah, we absolutely could.
Oh, that'd be badass. Okay, last one, Chris.
Okay, here we go.
1 to 100.
Let's go 75.
Okay, so 75 through 80 are question. They're not going to be me asking them. It's going to be Dr. Norman Geisler asking them, and it's going to be derived from his book Conversational Evangelism. So this is Dr. Norman Geisler asking you this question. Ready?
Okay. Right.
Would you agree that intelligently designed things call for an intelligent designer of them? If so, then would you agree that evidence for intelligence design in the universe would be evidence for a designer of the universe?
I see no evidence of intelligent design. Not naturally.
Does something that is intelligently designed, does that necessitate an intelligent designer?
Okay, well, if we're going to go on that premise, then I would say yes, based on the premise.
Do humans appear to be intelligently designed?
No. Wait a second. Excuse me one moment. Let me answer that again. No.
Okay.
I've
got a million ways to answer this, but I would love to hear your way.
Okay. Well, we're just not. I mean, sure, if you could prove that the universe was intelligently designed, but there are things, physics explains all those things of the universe. It's just rules. I just don't see a proof that it was intelligently designed. And then even if they could make that leap and somehow prove that it was indeed intelligently designed, that doesn't mean it's their God. That doesn't mean, maybe it's Ra. For all we know, Ra is the all creator, but to be able to prove that Ra was the all creator, or Yahweh or Ishtar or any of these, there's a lot to prove. So I'm not really worried that anybody's going to come at me with proof on those levels.
Ra is the almighty one. Aaron Ra. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, every now and then I'll say his name. I'll say Aaron, and then I'll be like, "Oh, sorry about that, Aaron. It's my accent." I blame my accent.
The first year he used to come around the studio, I would fuck that up. He loves this hot stuff. A little side anecdote. We after a show once, it got really late. We went and played we went to an old 80s arcade and played the old 80s arcade games till wee hours in the morning. And then it was like 4 a.m. We went to this Indian restaurant that was, I don't know how he worked something out with the owner, but the place should have been closed. It should have closed at 2. But here we are stumbling in at 4 a.m. And he and his wife, Lalandra, ordered the hottest. It's not even on the menu. He just said, fucking make it happen, right? Because if you know Aaron and Lalandra, they do they go crazy with the hot stuff. Yeah. So me and this guy, Brian Turk, we tried to get, we got menu stuff, the hottest thing on the menu, which was way less than what they ordered. When the chefs in the back started cooking Aaron and Lalandra's meal, they were caught. They had to leave. Oh, really? They had to leave the prep area. I mean, there was like a group, maybe a group of 3 people way over on the other side of the restaurant. They had to get up and get out. It was like the whole place was getting maced, like with tear gas. Oh, and Shelley Siegel was there, she's a atheist folk singer.
Really?
And she had to leave because
an atheist folk singer. That's
yeah, she's you don't know Shelley Siegel?
Oh, never heard of her, but I want to now.
Oh, look up Shelley Siegel. Just anything from her
I can
library.
find her. I bet you. Yeah.
Segal. We've had her on the show. She's awesome. But she can't do hot stuff. She can't breathe hot stuff. She had to get out of there because it affects her voice. Her voice is her instrument. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then yes, and then of course Aaron just eats it like it's nothing. And then me and Brian are eating the hottest thing on the menu, and I couldn't get through half of it. I was dying. Both of our faces were red. It was insane.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in crying at dinner. It's just, it's not my bag. Yeah, so.
Well, shoot.
But I am from Texas, so I do put hot sauce on eggs. You know what I mean? But not that kind of hot sauce. No.
That's a given. What kind of hot sauce?
Any kind. So that's the whole deal. Yeah. I mean, like sriracha. I'm about sriracha. There's this local thing. It's called the 505. It's actually more of a picante sauce or what do you call it? Salsa. It's more of a salsa. Yeah. But that's pretty good. Yeah. And I can take it medium hot. I don't care. But I don't like habaneros. Those little bastards that are growing a half inch from hell. That's how hot they are. I don't want none of that.
Habaneros are 50,000 Scoville heat units compared to a jalapeno, which is only 5,000. And serranos are somewhere in between. I usually do serranos as a staple. That's with any meal. But Taco Bell has such a good vegetarian menu. I'm there a lot because I'm vegetarian. But they have 4 different packets. And for some reason, that Diablo, there's mild, medium, fire, and their Diablo packets, it took some getting used to. I didn't like it at first, but now I love those. So whenever I go to Taco Bell, I get like tons of those Diablo packets.
Really?
Yeah, they're good.
Great.
They're really good.
Yeah. I didn't know they had them. The most I've had from there was fire sauce. I'm from West Texas, right?
Try
when
some
I first
Diablo.
started out yeah. Well, I mean, the hot sauce at most of these places is just like ketchup with some spice in it. So I look for the Diablo and see.
Nice. Chris Mallard, thank you for your time. That has been a pleasure. Some really entertaining shit there. And plugs one more time. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook at The Daily Atheist. Just search me on Facebook, YouTube, The Daily Atheist. I am the amazing Super Chris. Just look for The Daily Atheist. And then I am the Atheisting One at Twitter. So,
Atheisting One on Twitter.
Yep.
Okay, my brother. Until next time. Talk to you later.
Thank you.